In the headlines, Dominica to benefit from Dominica-Russian Disaster Preparedness Memorandum of Understanding, 90% of major tourist sites rehabilitated post-Maria, and Prime Minister SKERRIT says outsourcing of human resource is necessary for rebuilding. Hello and welcome to National Focus. I am PRISCA Julien. Stay tuned for details of the headlines and other stories coming up.
I believe in the natural order of things. I believe in the harmony of things. In everything we do, we have to keep it natural. I've been doing farming for now over a decade. My day is very hectic, but I make it light, because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy producing the best quality goods and to make sure that the people that receive it, they receive the best that they can ever get. Right from the farm, everything that I grow, I process them back into the farm so that the same things that grow in the farm is what protects the farm. Tourism is my business. It's not just dealing with the foreigners that come in, but it's preparing those things that when they come, they can feel and taste the difference in coming to this exotic island. And it starts with the farmer, because we provide the things that they eat, that they taste, that they drink. I believe in my heart that it's my responsibility to provide quality. My name is Tony Alves, and tourism is my business.
Welcome back. Now for the details. The tremendous amount of work required to continue Dominica's rebuilding process will involve external support. This, according to the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt SKERRIT, as he spoke to the National Rebuilding and Economic Partnership Consultation last Monday. The nation's leader urged Dominicans to be careful about buying into the false notion that Dominica holds all of the resources required for its rebuilding.
Let us be frank with ourselves. If we believe that we have all of the human resources in Dominica, all of the talent in Dominica, all of the money inside Dominica to build Dominica, we are setting up ourselves for a huge fall. How many of us cannot get people to cover our roofs today? And we have the money. We have the insurance money. We want to fix our homes. I see all of you, most of you here, the tarpaulin is still up. Is it the money you do not have? Or is it you cannot find people?
On the situation of river dredging, where fleets of heavy equipment have been contracted to alleviate the plight of persons living near the rivers, the nation's leader remarked a decision had to be taken immediately. Mutilal Rami and Sons, a regional firm, is one of the main partners who have been contracted for river dredging in the city and environs. The company, with imported heavy equipment branded Dominica Strong, have since descended on a number of rivers, ensuring the riverbeds are dredged sufficiently. A number of Dominicans are engaged in works with that company.
We have a situation where people along rivers cannot sleep at night. What do I do as a Prime Minister? Sit down and lament about it and say, well, let us hope that some trucks will come to Dominica one day by way of manna from heaven, and then let us clean the rivers? I have to take action. And sometimes decisions must not be slept upon. They must be taken now because you have a present situation to address.
The government of Dominica has established a memorandum of understanding with the government of Russia regarding disaster and emergency situations. On Friday, at a handing over ceremony, the Honorable Minister for Justice, Immigration and National Security, Rayburn Blackmore, shared that he anticipates this new aspect of diplomatic relations for aid and consultation in emergency practices and control between the two countries.
We are looking forward to signing this Memorandum of Understanding between the government of Russia and Dominica that will set the platform for actually embarking on exchanges that speak to best practices in the area of emergency planning and aspects of mitigation.
Apart from the Memorandum of Understanding, which will assist Dominica in rebuilding and learning advanced practices for disaster mitigation, the Russian government has also provided Dominica with tangible relief material. At the handing over ceremony, after which the document was to be signed, the Russian Deputy Director of Russia's Emergency Control Ministry, EMERCOM, said that the Russian government was immediately moved to assist Dominica in its time of need.
After the letter of the Prime Minister of Dominica, there was a positive reaction of our government, and our minister have an order from the 23rd of November to start organization of this humanitarian aid. Of course, in consultation with the government of Dominica, we make a list of goods we can send here. First, it's construction materials. Then you can see one of them, it's 2 power stations, which can work in the regions where just now electricity supply is not rebuilt. They're rather powerful. And also 60 tons of food.
The food supply includes canned foods, fish and rice. Honorable Blackmore expressed his gratitude on behalf of Dominica for the relief supplies.
I feel very honored and touched to receive on behalf of the government of Dominica and the people of Dominica 12 containers of approximately 280 tons of relief supplies.
Dominica and the Russian Federation established diplomatic relations in 1995. In more news, the Dominica Water and Sewerage Company, DOWASCO, has outlined its plans for realizing a climate-resilient water system. The specifications of that strategy were disclosed by General Manager Bernard Etinoff last week at a National Rebuilding and Economic Partnership consultation. Plans for this climate-resilient water system include consultations for creating durable infrastructure.
A technical advisor will be recruited shortly to prepare terms of reference for the various consultancies to be undertaken to determine the relevant interventions necessary to build the required resilience in the water sector. Infrastructure projects will follow based on the outcome of the consultancies, and the recommended interventions could begin as early as January 2019.
To facilitate the plans of the company, the government of Dominica has earmarked funds provided by the United Kingdom Government Department for International Development for technical assistance and capital works in the water sectors in Dominica. The Caribbean Development Bank will be providing management support in this regard.
Among the measures required are early warning systems. With funding and technical support from the World Bank under the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project, DVRP, DOWASCO, along with other key stakeholder agencies, such as the Forestry and the Met Services, has embarked on a project to install hydromet stations for stream flow and rainfall measurements at strategic locations throughout Dominica.
According to Etinoff, upgraded technology for monitoring water level is also on the cards.
Under the third water supply project, funded by the CDB and the government of Dominica, DOWASCO is procuring a supervisory control and data acquisition SCADA system that will allow remote monitoring of the water supply system, starting with Water Area 1 network. New bulk meters and system control valves and gauges will be used to relay information such as flow rates, pressures, and water levels in reservoirs in real time, so that decisions can be made in more appropriate time.
Since the passage of Hurricane Maria, DOWASCO has employed the use of generators for pumping water in areas where there is still no primary source of electricity. For doing so, the general manager says this method will become a staple as a backup system in all areas where water is pumped to customers.
Some of the climate resilience techniques will include backup generators required for each pumping station, DOMASCO at the moment utilizes mainly gravity-fed systems, but we recognize the need to have backup generators at each pumping station so that when the grid fails, we can move to those generators and ensure that people have water at their homes in quick time.
DOMASCO is also considering liaising with the Ministry of Works and New Bridge Infrastructure for incorporating protective utility corridors in the bridge design rather than allowing transmission lines to hang external to the bridges. Consideration to the application of stream bed infiltration galleries will be given in lieu of surface water abstraction systems. The aim of utilizing this is for reducing the exposure to heavy debris during flood events. The general manager of DOMASCO also mentioned that the company will be looking into the designs of water abstraction areas.
We're going to be looking at where we abstract water from, how those systems are designed to ensure that resilience is built in those systems. We are also going to be looking at the locations, whether we continue to go upstream to get gravity flow, or whether we use lower downstream where the water is even more readily available and use pumping systems utilizing renewable energy to pump water as opposed to fossil fuels.
For promoting rapid excavation after flood events, DOMASCO will employ strategies for avoiding sedimentation buildup. Increased water storage and reforestation are also part of the company's plan for building a climate-resilient water system. And finally, the Ministry of Tourism has reported that 90% of Dominica's tourist sites have been restored since damage from Hurricane Maria. That announcement came from the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Karen Prevost.
I'm very pleased about the progress that we've been able to make post-Hurricane Maria. As relates to site rehabilitation, we have completed rehabilitation at 90% of our major tourism sites in collaboration with the Forestry and Parks Division, the National Employment Program, and the UNDP, which has been very critical in assisting us with the rehabilitation and clearance. We are very pleased to say that with the exception of Champagne, Soufriere, Sulphur Springs, and the Boiling Lake to some extent, all of our tourism sites are open for business.
Prevost recorded some of the areas where works have been completed.
Our reception facilities at our marquee sites has been completed. We've seen a rebuild of the viewing platform at Trafalgar. We've upgraded the interpretation building, the vendors booth. The Indian River, Emerald Pool, Freshwater Lake, Tito Gorge, and some of our other sites have been completely rehabilitated. We've also done some work to restore our beaches. We've started with the two major beaches which are high traffic for our cruise visitors, Mero and Purple Turtle Beach. And this also includes the restoration of the facilities at those sites.
In addition, the Tourism Information Center, the museum, and the Daubeny building at the Old Market have been rehabilitated. The Ministry of Tourism, in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Works, is in the process of rehabilitating the Roseau Bayfront and cruise ship berth, which welcomes most of Dominica's cruise calls. The Permanent Secretary was speaking at the National Rebuilding and Economic Partnership Consultation last week. And that's news. Stay tuned for Creole Highlights with Shakira Pierre.
I've been in the business for over 16 years. I get up in the mornings and I look forward to having the next cruise ship berth on island. When the visitor steps off the ship, the first impression is me. And I believe that I need to put my best foot forward and to ensure that everything I do it to the best of my ability. Based on my recommendation, visitors go to various sites, restaurants, bars, and vendors. I take that responsibility very seriously. I would like that the guest receives the same service that I have provided to that individual or guest. This business is bigger than me. Everybody plays a role. The cleaner who cleans my bus, my mechanic who does my checks, those persons ensure that I provide a quality service to the guest. The tourism dollar doesn't just stop with me. It allows me to pay the bank, visit the supermarket to feed myself and family, and have a drink with friends. My name is Jenna Gist, and tourism is my business.
Pil travail la qui n'est pour fait pour rebâtir Dominique et besoin moun hot dot pays. Parole à la sortie hot Premier ministre Honorable Dr. Roosevelt SKERRIT pendant il a parlé à une consultation qui prend place lundi passé pour faire Dominique premier pays là à la telle qui s'apprend changement climatique. Premier ministre Honorable SKERRIT dit actuellement moun ni tapoline à ce caillou et puis ça c'est un résultat qui moun passe à taper moun pour couvrir caille là. Un exemple à moun l'autre pays qui travaille pour rebâtir Dominique, c'est travail qui a prend place en numéro live en Dominique. Honorable SKERRIT dit décision ça là pour mener compagnie ça là pour travail, c'est un gouvernement tenu pour faire pour bénéfice pays là. Mutilal Rami Sons, une compagnie régionale, c'est une compagnie là qui a travaillé et puis gouvernement pour régler problème là, moun qui a resté bon live là ni. Yo lot Dominique engagé à projet ça là. À date nouvelle, ministre tourisme a détaillé qui 90% plasma touriste rangé après cyclone Maria. Parole à la sortie de permanent secretary à ministre tourisme Karen Purvo. Permanent secretary là tout dit travail pour mener ces plasmas là comment yo teye avant cyclone Maria. C'est un effort entre division forêt et puis moun qui engagé en bas National Employment Program là. Il aussi dit tout plasma touriste ouvert pour business. Privo dit Tourism Information Center là, museum là et puis bâtiment là qui envie la place là c'est réhabilité. Ministre Tourism et puis Ministre Public Works qui a collaboré pour ranger Bayfront là et puis la bateau touriste qui vini. Permanent Secretary là c'est qu'à parler pendant une consultation pour faire Dominique premier pays là qui s'apprend changement climatique. Et puis finalement, compagnie Glo Dominique de Wasco fait avec la plan yo pour ni un système Glo qui s'apprend changement climatique. Plan ça a été fait avec la par chef de Wasco Bernard Etinoff pendant une consultation pour faire Dominique pour premier pays là qui s'apprend changement climatique. Plan pour système Glo neuf là qui a besoin de consultation pour faire une infrastructure qui fort. Pour faciliter plan là, gouvernement Dominique prend l'argent qui été fait avec la par gouvernement United Kingdom, département pour assistance technique et puis travail capital en secteur Glo à Dominique. Caribbean Development Bank là qui poursuit management pour projet ça là. Depuis cyclone Maria passé, Wasco a servi générateur pour bas place qui pani électricité Glo. Chef de Wasco dit yo que service ça compte yon manière pour y toujours ni Glo ba moun. Pour augmenter Glo et puis pour planter d'autres pieds bois, c'est plan compagnie là pour faire Dominique premier pays là qui s'apprend changement climatique.
Up next, your tip of the day.
I believe in the natural order of things. I believe in the harmony of things. You know, in everything we do, we have to keep it natural. I've been doing farming for now over a decade. My day is very hectic, but I make it light. You know, because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy producing the best quality goods and to make sure that the people that receive it, they receive the best that they can ever get. Right from the farm, everything that I grow, I process them back into the farm so that the same things that grow in the farm is what protects the farm. Tourism is my business. You know, it's not just dealing with the foreigners that come in, but it's preparing those things that when they come, they can feel and taste the difference in coming to this exotic island. And it starts with the farmer because we provide the things that they eat, that they taste, that they drink. I believe in my heart that it's my responsibility to provide quality. My name is Tony Alves and tourism is my business.
Pay attention to the types of material used when roofing. As promised, here is a tip for building resilient homes.
We really want to invest more in that galvanized material. The second thing is that we really are reinforcing that we want to use screws to connect the galvanized down into our wood roofs. Why is that? You know, Maria gave us punches, not just one punch. Where I'm from, we would have tornadoes or high winds, but they would only last for a short period of time. Maria gave us punches for 9 hours, right? And just like a hammer trying to pull a nail, she sat there and was very determined for 9 hours, and she got those nails pulled out. And so that's why we want to use the screws, because they will be able to resist those longer sustained winds that we see with the hurricane events.
That's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS on facebook.com/GIS News Dominica and also follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I am PRISCA Julien. Thanks for watching.